Graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best. Sir.
Hey guys, welcome back to Red Hot Raids. Here we are for another week, a big week for all 5 clans. What's interesting this week, we do have 6 Town Hall 10 replays and the 4 Town Hall 9s to finish it off. And out of the Town Hall 10s, we have 5 of them having Valks within those armies. So Valks are a very big part of Town Hall 10 and 11 3-stars at the moment. And it's really good to get into it. So without further ado, let's get into the raids. Where are we? First one here off the top is going to be War Whales, and this was versus House of Eel. So we're looking at solid Town Hall 10 attack. Max Heroes doing a Queen Walk with a Go-the-Ho to go with it. I think he had, was it Hogs in the Clan Castle? We'll have to double check that. But you see the spell compilation there. 2 jumps, 1 rage, 2 heals. So there's no free spells. What I'm seeing is a lot of these attacks and these raids, we're not taking freezes into it. So freezes almost being skipped over by everything. The first thing you're going to upgrade when you get to Town Hall 10 is going to be Valks, and you're going to be 3-starring. So really good to see jumps used down the bottom there to start off with. And what I love seeing about some of these variations is the units, because I don't use giants a lot myself, and yeah, it's just one of those things. So mixed clan castle from the enemy. There's a couple of Valks, couple of loons. I think there was a couple of archers as well. So the queen's going to go along the top, and she is probably going to get into a little bit of trouble there with the healers, but the Valks ripped through the middle there really nice and quick. No, the healers do swap over. Luckily enough though, three healers stay up. So there you go. The Valks are still going for it. And old Queenie, she's lost her healers, but it doesn't matter. She's still at half health, still has her ability. And the jump, they're still going in midfield for the king. So old Jimmy Bob, he's going to jump into the middle now and go for that Inferno. What was interesting was the jump was, the heal was placed there, the second heal. And the Hogs, a few of those were on the laser on the Inferno, but it did actually cover a couple of extra Hogs, and they went through. So you have a look now. Brilliant raid, quite a high base, 88k base. You see that was pretty much max defences. There was a couple of little shitty bombs, I think, but yeah, really good raid, and great to see, solid. Just have a drink of a coffee. Next raid we're going to go into is a raid from Aussie Addicts, and this was Shine trialling one of the new strats, which is just mass Valks and a few bowlers. So bowlers on the sides to do the herding and to funnel all your Valks in the middle. So it was an 86k base, a lot of Town Hall 9 defences there, the max level Infernos, a couple of expos in the middle there, and the old 2-finger Valks, I think it is, there they go. Redhead's crazy, they're angry, they're in there, and what's he got to go with it? 4 rage spells. And what was funny about this was he's dropped one of the rages as a missed drop. So you just see trying to keep in front of those Valks, and this raid went for under a minute. So the old donut style base, people beware. If they're running this base, it's just going to get smashed. I really am surprised at how long Clan Wars have been going for. We're now into our 2nd year, and people are still using this base so much. But now with the mass Valks, Hound is dropping off as a viable clan castle with people using these Valks. You just see under a minute raid, 53 seconds once units hit the ground. Amazing raid. Shine's been keeping up with his YouTube. So next raid we're going into is from War Whales. This was their 2nd for the week, and he's gone in with a, where are we, Seamerks. Gone in with the Queen Walk, and it's a a Lava Loon secondary part to it. And what I liked about this was you see these heroes absolutely rip it up. So he's held on to his Queen's ability, held on to it, and it's gotten so very close there. I'm so amazed at how low that got. And, it could have gone from hero to 0 very quickly. But, yeah, gets it through. Sends in the king as well. And this is something that doesn't happen too often. And old Jimmy Bob, he starts running through and clearing. And it was really well done, because it helps the queen push through in a good amount of time. and takes a lot of heat off of the queen. So if she had a couple of point defences shooting at her as well as the enemy queen, it would have been a bit of trouble, needed more spells possibly. And you see, ripping it through. So now the queen, all she had to do was shoot that gold storage and then straight onto that air defence. So that meant the healers all stayed up. Jimmy Bob's still on some good health, and he's going to start into his air section now. And I think there will be 3 hounds there. So he's got the 1 rage, the 1 poison. That is a max level inferno, but won't need a freeze because it is quite easy tracking getting into that inferno. Because look at half the base has gone there just from those 2 heroes walking through there. Absolutely smashed it. Air contingency starting now. Trips 3 red bombs on the way to that first air defence there. So those loons aren't going to take any big mass damage from anything like that. Gets that rage going, and those loons will track very nicely to that remaining inferno. Old queen, she's pew-pewing away down the bottom there. Hounds start popping. There's still 1 hound tanking there. There's no more haste or anything like that in the bag, but there's a good healthy chunk of loons left. That Wizard Tower did do its job though, and it did manage to suck out a few. But still plenty of loons left, plenty of minions everywhere. Queen's still going. Great raid, C-Mercs. It's nice to see that, you know, we're not all using Valk still. Next raid we're going into is another one from Aussie Addicts. And it's interesting to see how the base scores work now. So this is an 86k base, and we saw the first raid was an 88k base, but that was near max defences. It's it's with the adjustments. What's worth mentioning with this raid was you see the Pecker in the clan castle. You need to be very aware because 1 hit you'll see how much damage it does to the queen, and you need to either use a rage or use your ability, but you want to make sure you don't use both. So this was a re-hit, it wasn't the first hit. I was aware that there was a Pecker in this clan castle. You see down the bottom there, Golem in the clan castle, Giant as well. Only a few wizards on hand, it was 4 all up I think. The old 2-finger redheads, and you see these rages just come out. So one of the common factors you do see with this combo is the king and the queen generally aren't taking a lot of damage because the Valks under rage, they're just absolutely going through and whirlwinding and smashing everything up and all of that kind of stuff. That leaves you, generally your heroes at the back, quite healthy on life and their abilities. So it was a good use of the wizard down the bottom there to pick up that defence. And old Jimmy Bob got to get the rage there, so he's going to start wrapping it up. So you do see a lot on these combos that the rages get used up for the Valks. The king benefits from those rages, and then at the end of it, once all of that's gone, the king's going to have an ability. He's taken a bit of damage, and you know, he gets that heal up. So a lot of the other times with the rage, you would need that rage from the king a little bit earlier, but not anymore. So it's a pretty simple base in the end. Yeah, I was pretty happy with this. This was one of my personal raids, and it's good fun. Valks are definitely smashing at the moment. Next raid we've got is from Above and Beyond, and this is Stevie, as he's the clan leader there, old Stevie, and he's gone in with a bowler walk. So I personally haven't started using bowlers. It was an interesting looking raid to see. You see 5 healers, and what he's going to do is he's going to separate those healers. So keeping in mind when you're healing normal units, they take 100% of the heals compared to the heroes only taking that 50%. So he'll split the 2 healers onto the bowlers, 3 onto the queen, and have a dual the sides being tanked out. It was just brilliant to see. So you see he used 3 of his own bowlers. It was 3 out of the clan castle. So they're the max level in a clan level 10 like Above and Beyond. Excuse me. And then in the middle there, old King, and he's only got the level 4 Valks. So he didn't even have the max Valks here. It was a really good concept raid. I love seeing the bowlers coming into play. I've only really seen them at the start so far because we haven't gemmed them a lot and more of just a few support. Whereas he's gone in with the walk there and you just see how much damage they're doing along the sides. The queen, she's picked up the other side, nice. She's taken a fair bit of damage. She's going to be high value for the return of just the 3 healers sitting on her. So the king in the midfield there, like I said, he's still got full health after these rages, so he's able to get that rage out now and really start getting into the extra defences and all these kinds of things, and it's just a really good way. You're seeing, we've got 5 clans in this Red Hot Raids, and we're seeing very similar tactics played between people, whether it's just through practice or realising and watching other raids and all these things, but the bowlers are still going for it around the side there. The Queen, she's clearing the last of those pups. That worked well. Old Jimmy Bob does succumb, but obviously having the 2 groups with the healers, they're going through, you're getting the full effect out of those. What took us a lot of time to convert back to these 3-minute raids, we're actually finding, it works quite easy now, especially when you're getting pre-1-minute raids with things like just Valks under rage. So, yeah, it's good to see. Great raid, Steve. Still going there. Tesla to go. Next raid is going to be from TheClashingDead, and it's a Town Hall 10 still, and this was a Queen Walk Go the Ho. So where are we? 4 healers, so pretty much a standard. This was Albert, he's the leader over there. Albert's gone with the 4 healers, of course. I'm not sure what he's got in his clan castle. I have watched this once, and I do remember seeing he did really well with his queen. So Poison comes out for the mixed clan castle. Looked like mostly one witch with wizards. Where do we go there? It's a queen charge, I should say, not a walk. He's aimed to get her going in the middle. She's done well, so she's going to get the enemy queen. And you see that queen, she got so close. So close. So the 2 jump spells, that's to direct the Valks the way he wanted. It'll be interesting to see what Supercell do to nerf Valks, because I do believe they need it. A lot of people are saying Town Hall 10's finally fun. We're getting 3 stars out there, but if we're hitting 53 second to 1 minute 3 stars, and we know something's going wrong. But great raid, Albert. You see good use of the hogs there at the end to get those last point defences. Queen, she's going to mop up with damage, and a couple of wizards as well. So well done, mate. Next one we're going to go into is from Mariana Trench, and it's a Town Hall 9. It was a Queen Walk, I think. Oh, I think it is actually a charge as well. So a Queen charge with dragons and loons for the tail. So the 1 lightning combo, so it's 2 lightnings. This is a max, so this must be a hit down. Max level spells and a level 38 queen. So obviously with the lightning spells, you don't need any earthquake, so 2 max lightnings will kill any air defense except for a max air defense. So as a bit of a hit down, it is quite simple to use those spells as part of your combos. They should be things that you're upgrading, because they do work with the Inferno tactics and all those kinds of things. So as a hit down, when you want to nuke a base, it's funny, you still do see people fail nukes. And there's a lot of pressure on Town Hall 10s, especially people that have just gone up fresh to Town Hall 10 to get these 3 stars, and people expect it. But there's still a little bit of love in Town Hall 9, and he's gone in with the good combo here. The Queen, she's been a high value return. Still so many dragons left. Old Jimmy Bob pretty much wasn't needed. He just cleared a few trash buildings. So, yeah, great raid. Next raid we're going to see is Tank. And Tank's gone ahead with a... what was it? It was a Queen Walk Go the Ho as well. Tank's one of the co-leaders at Above and Beyond there. And you see the wizard up the top there to start off with on that Dark Elixir storage there. They've got so many hit points, you've got to make sure you get them out and you consider something well. So where's the Queen going to go? There's no wall breakers, so she's going to be walking by the looks of it What's good about that is that air defence is quite in depth into the field there, so that shouldn't cause him any dramas for his healers. You see the golems on the left side there is going to be with the kill squad. He's got quite a few Valks, 7 of his own, and it will likely be the level 5 Valks in his clan castle. It's important, they're big upgrades with the level difference, 200 hit points difference. They do look a little bit hunchbacky, but they're definitely one of those big things. Wizard's Tower down the bottom there is starting to shoot those healers, but then they walk through. Tesla Farm on the Town Hall. Those Valks are just going to go in there and rip it up. Blows his King's ability as well. One heal did go through on the Valks at the same time. Peppers out those hogs just nicely up top there. Didn't need to spam them out, and did it well. Spread them out nicely across those defences. Those Wizard Tower giving those healers a bit of love again. And it looks like they're all going to drop down. No, one stays alive. Giant bomb on those hogs. But it's all over Red Rover. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits. Old Tanky takes the 3 stars. It was a Russian clan, I think. It looks like Russian writing. I do forget all the farm wars. Now this will be Mariana Trench's second replay. This was a Golem loon. We do have 2 Golem loons to finish the week off. 69k, so max base bar walls. 2 golems, 3 hounds. What do we got? A jump and 2 rage. So you see those 2 very close together down the bottom. Witch, wizards, and some goblins by the looks of it in that clan castle. That queen, she bunkers behind that wall nice. But Hursty's queen should shoot over the wall there. Yeah, there you go. A few shots and see you later. Lights out, Queenie. King will probably rage very shortly, you would think. He's on about half-life now, just gone under. Wants to get that rage out. Excuse me. Getting some good traction out of that golem. That's hit midfield there. So 3 hounds for 3 air defences, but they're very close to each other. So what's good is those loons are going to not have a huge distance to have to track from the outside defences to get to the remaining 2 inner air defence there. So fighting against the blower, which is a bit hard, but those haste spells will get that through nice. Golem gets that last middle air defence down. Old Queenie, she's walking around the bottom, still got the ability. Still got 1 haste in the bag. Lots of loons left, a good spread there. And just 1 loon left to be able to distract that Wizard Tower, which is awesome because there was a big pack of loons going for him. You don't want to lose all your loons to the 1 Wizard Tower. Who hasn't done that before? Oh, you see there, the Wizard Tower at the end. It's a great raid, Hursty. Last raid for the week is going to be from TheClashingDead. And like I said, it was another Golem loon. Who we got doing this one? It's Teo. Teo's gone in there. 68k base, so fairly close to a max base. Queen looks quite centred. The clan castle looks like it would be a hard draw. 1 or 2 golems. What are we looking at here? 2 golems. So the clan castle golem to go with that. I'm going to expect wall breakers nice and early. There they are. That's going to get those golems in moving, and then also the jump. Oh, very close to missing that first wall there, but Dragon Loon in the clan castle. The queen, she bunkers quite well back, but old Jimmy Bob will go in there. Cost him a fair bit of life though, and he drops down. Still 1 golem going, which is nice. Unfortunately, the queen's going to get bunkered behind on that cannon, and then the mortar, but it does it well. 2 big rages left. Nice spread on those loons. You see those inner expos still pumping away now. Keeping in mind with the upgrades, the expos now do an additional 15 DPS, which before they were just like another archer tower, but they are quite a different effect now. But great raid there from the TheClashingDead. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's raids. We've had a lot of fun, and as always, if you have enjoyed them, please subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.
You got his eye from across the room. You got his